I'm Whitney Green. I'm here with Sunset Tan, and you're watching Vegas On Demand.
As an artist, I started pretty young. I would have to say around 7 years old. I developed an interest in art, and from there it developed a little bit, and then I quit for a very long time. I picked it back up when I was around 20 years old, and that's when I got interested in doing illustration on a commercial level. I went out to the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California, got my training, started freelancing while in school. When I got out, I started developing the illustration business. I started doing book covers out of New York. I was doing, then later got into doing movie posters, and then I got to do all kinds of other illustration projects. And that's sort of my background, and then of course later developed into a fine artist, which got me away from doing commercial work and got me more into the spirit of what I love to do personally as an artist. Yeah, this is my, my home office, and what I want to show you is some of my early pieces, which are construction pieces. As you can see, it gives the illusion of 3D, and it's got a lot of very interesting textures, and that's what made the piece fun, is the combination of the textures, the layering. This is part of what I call my Sapelo Island series. This piece here, which is one of the characters on the island who used to catch these mullet. And the funny thing about it is that when I was looking at him, I was taking pictures, and the boat that he was on kept getting filled up with these fish, and to the point where they were overflowing. And I was just laughing, having a great time looking at that, and I thought that would make an interesting painting. This piece here is entitled Rosa. And this lady this piece is actually one of my Sapelo Island pieces. The significance of Rosa is that I knew her when I was a young kid, and she's carrying this bucket of blue crabs here, which is significant because as a young kid, about 7 years old, I would go out on the docks and I would fish for blue crabs because she loved them so much. She would just love to crack them and put them away for the winter in a freezer. And we had a little barter deal going here. I would go out and catch the blue crabs, and then she in turn would bake me a big chocolate cake. Now she used to cook for R.J. Reynolds sometimes, and on the island there where R.J. Reynolds had his mansion, you know, these people, that's their island too. That's you know, their island, and she was a big part of my memories growing up. The different phases that I've gone through as an artist, going back to the Sapelo Island work, which is actually a lifelong development process. That's very personal for me because it's the roots of who I was as a young kid and a teenager, and that is very personal in terms of what I would like to do with it later, in terms of putting a book together, having work on display for people to enjoy and appreciate. The mermaid pieces are just a very fun series. It captures the hearts and imaginations of people. And then I saw some documentaries about Atlantis. And I put the two and two together, and I started putting together a series of mermaids which narrate Atlantis. And that's how that series developed. And then as far as the dancers go, that's just another interest I have in terms of form, in terms of movement, in terms of just color. So each has its own meaning and purpose for me as an artist. There are times in my career that I do hit plateaus, and times that I taper off, and I get a little lost in terms of what I want to do again in terms of certain things. But art is the kind of thing that it's a lifelong journey. You never, if you're truly an artist, you're always going to develop new ways of seeing things. And till the day you die, you should always be looking for new ways of presenting your work. As an artist, what do I want to leave behind when I'm no longer here? You know, all these thoughts go through my mind. So it's a lifelong journey that never ends. If I had to sum up my style in a sentence or so, I would say that It's an accumulation of a life experience put on canvas.
This has been a presentation of Players Network.